Hello and welcome to my channel. Just created this channel. I'm out here in Wilmington, Carolina Beach, Curry Beach area in North Carolina. And I wanted to talk about fatwood. We have a lot of pine out here, and when the sap settles down to the trunk, like when you chop down a tree or if one dies, it'll go to the roots and the stump. All the pine sap and the tars and the resins. So here's just some normal pine, freshly cut wood chips. Some, normal pine wood. This stuff right here. You can see the darker and the lighter layers in there. Over here we got a little bit of sap, pitch, pine pitch, tar, oil, resin, whatever you want to call it. So, this is a normal wood, pretty dry. And then here we have fatwood. And you can see it's a dark orange. It's really orange, an amber color, and it's translucent. You can shine light through it. If I had a flashlight, I could shine a light through it. It looks like a resinous, like something that was casted. So, got a little log cabin-ish looking structure. I just threw it together real quick. Got no paper, no pine needles, no tinder. So this stuff is pretty flammable. It's like turpentine, and it burns. So you can see how easily you can start a fire. Even if this is wet, this will still burn because it's oil, and oil and water won't mix. You can't put out an oil fire with water. You'll just spread the oil around. So look how easy this is. Imagine if it was rainy outside, you need something to get a fire started in the woods. One little light. And you can hear it'll sizzle. Look at that. Would not recommend storing this stuff indoors just in case of, accidental fire, because you can see all it takes. And it's putting off that black smoke. That is not good to breathe. We got an airplane. He's having fun. Little airplane. So one little tiny light, and if you had a little cotton or some other kind of a tinder and you used a spark, you just need a tiny little spark and a tiny little flame for about 1 second. As you saw, that was about half a second. As soon as that flame touches that tip, this thing's going to burn like it's just fuel. It's one of the best, probably if not the best, fire starter you can find in the wild in nature. So, I mean, literally, it's, I'm just holding it this long just to demonstrate, but you just throw it down in there and you're done. And that's going to burn for a good probably 15 minutes, just like fuel. There's fuel in there, that oil. So, yeah, you can see we got a fire already. It's already starting that little stuff. I got plenty of air gaps, so the air can get all through there, and I mean that's all you need to do. And then so I have a couple more chunks over here, and I'll just leave them sitting on the side. I had a whole pile of this stuff, and we had a big stump, probably about twice the size of like that. A big stump, pure fatwood. It was all chunks, football-sized chunks when we split it, and then we cut it to little cubes almost, and that's like a fire brick. That thing will, you can cook with a little chunk, and then you can figure out exactly what size you need for like a 5-minute burn, depending on the size of your pot. I just use this little pot. And then we got the rocket stove, so you could throw a little cube in there, put a little starter piece like that, start it on fire, and you got your rocket stove will go, and you can boil your water very precisely, very efficiently, very easily, without using any kind of fuels or fire starting materials, only the fat wood. You can see it's bubbling out. I don't know if you can see on camera, but like right there you can see the white, little white stuff bubbling out, all the juices and oil, and it drips down and spreads the fire. It's real nasty when you think about, if that started in your house. You don't want that. You don't want that. You want to store it somewhere safe. Yeah, there you go. I mean, that's a fire. It's so simple. I mean, it took me less than 30 seconds to just grab those branches, break them, just grabbed handfuls, broke them into thirds, threw it in a square, light that with a lighter, toss it in, walk away. You're done, And on here, I just throw a couple old 2x4s from scrap. One here, and then I could throw the grill on top, boom, stick this on the grill, keep the handle away from the flames, put a little water on these every so often, keep the fire in the center. But yeah, there you go. Especially out in the wild, you get a couple little pieces of fat wood. Just with these 2 little pieces, you could easily boil 8 or 10 ounces of water, cook with it. So, I got my little fire, throw my pine wood chunk, little chips in there. Those have, pine sap in them. Just toss those in. And this is live pine that was just cut down yesterday, but it's going to burn because it's already such a hot fire. And by the time it runs out of wood to be burning, these will be, the juices inside here will be heating up, and the water inside will be evaporating and separating with the oils. And yeah, there you go.